On today's Glory Days show, we continue with our 2015 baseball extravaganza. We'll hear from correspondents all over the country.
On tap today are reports from Atlanta, Houston, and South Florida.
The snow may be flying here on Long Island, and it might be March Madness in college basketball, but we are baseball central right here as we continue to count down to opening day.
So sit back, relax. Glory Days coming up right now. EatReview.com. Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, March 21st, 2015, and you are watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani. This is my good friend Bruce Oler. Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today, and you are joining us on the InRavio TV network, where we broadcast to the world from the InRavio studios right here in the Village Music Shoppy in beautiful Mastic, Long Island, in the great state of New York.
Let's say snowy Mastic, Long Island.
You know what? I'm done.
Yeah, well,
I really am. I can't stand it anymore.
It's been a tough winter. It really has been, you know.
I purposely did not go out and shovel last night.
Oh, yeah?
I said, I'm not doing it.
What, you think it was going to melt by this morning?
Well, I had hopes.
I see, okay.
I really thought like I would wake up and the sun would be shining and it'd be 50 degrees.
Hey, it hasn't been that way on a Saturday for a long time. We've had a streak of bad weather on Saturdays here, you know.
It rains, it snows.
Yep.
Getting sick of it.
You know, I had to go down to Philadelphia for a day or two, so I was out of touch or off the grid for a couple of days early in the week, and I come back and I find out that Zach Wheeler needs season-ending surgery. Josh Edgin, the same thing. So this season was shaping up to be, you know, the Mets' year. It's looking a little tenuous right now.
Well, you know what it is. We had a little band of a margin for error.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, with the starting pitching.
But Edgin getting hurt, that's going to kill him.
Well, the relief we do, yeah, and that was a strength last year.
That was a strength. You know, Edgin getting hurt. Now I heard Murphy may miss opening day with a hamstring.
Yep.
What, you know, there was a thing in the paper about the number of Tommy John surgeries since 2004.
Yeah.
Okay, the number 2 team is the Mets.
Really?
Who's
number 1?
20. I don't know. I should know that.
You should be prepared. Come on, man. You know.
The Mets have had 24 pitchers.
Wow.
Have Tommy John surgery since 2000.
And I guess that counts the minor leagues like a guy. So
yes,
DeGrom counts in that count there.
Right. Right. You know, and I know baseball is going to is starting now to look at it a little bit to find out, you know, if there's something they could do. But
you know, I was talking to my friend Jimmy, and he said, you know, kids at the high school and the college level, their parents are paying for them to get it.
Just to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't say that exactly, but you know, they kind of feel that they probably need to get it eventually, you know, so they're doing it kind of preemptively, I guess. But it's elective surgery, I guess, too. It's about a $30,000 procedure, you know.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it anything?
So we are in the wrong business here, man, you know.
We should have been athletic surgeons.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I'm wondering, what did they do before they had Tommy John surgery? First of all, pitchers weren't blowing out their arms at this alarming rate.
Yeah.
You know, so I really think it goes back to what Nolan Ryan was talking about. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit with Trey Looney later.
Okay.
But Nolan Ryan was talking about how we've just been babying pitchers.
But they say the whole act of pitching overhand is an unnatural act.
Could be.
Kind of like bestiality, I think. You know, that's a different show.
It's not exactly unnatural. Howard
not,
Stern,
huh?
this week Howard Stern had a guy on that was talking about having sex with a dolphin.
A dolphin?
A dolphin.
A Miami dolphin?
No,
Okay.
a dolphin. But the thing was, he was in love with the dolphin. And he actually asked him if he used to love to watch the show Flipper.
Let's get moving on here, man.
All right, are we ready to move on?
All right.
All righty, enough of this nonsense. Let's get to our first correspondent for today's 2015 baseball extravaganza, shall we?
Let's do that.
All righty. Our first correspondent is a favorite of ours from the Deep South, whose favorite team, the Atlanta Braves, always seem to have a leg up in the National League East. For the first time in a long time, there's a real possibility that the Braves may miss the postseason for a second straight season.
Yeah.
Okay. Although he's ready and completely prepared to talk about his beloved Braves, his mind right now is on palm trees and hula girls, as he's less than 24 hours from a Hawaiian vacation. Please welcome our good friend from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Bill Chandler. Bill, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you guys doing?
All right,
Good, man.
When you're leaving tomorrow for Hawaii?
I am. Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
scouting out houses for the Obamas? Guess not, huh? Okay.
Oh, I wish.
We all wish.
Have you been to Hawaii before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, this is like, I think my 6th or 7th time to
Wow.
go. I mean, we love it there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because my wife would like to go, but she doesn't want to get in an airplane.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's going to be hard.
Yeah. Take a long time by boat. Would you go by boat this go?
Yeah, no.
She might
You know,
go
I'm
by boat,
surprised.
but
Through the Panama
I'm surprised
Canal
you guys
there, I
have me
guess,
back
right?
home after my partner getting system for the college football championship.
yeah.
Yeah, I picked Alabama to win, and of course that didn't work out so well.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
And I have to tell you something else. I'm really kind of upset with you guys. I can't believe you had this Bobby baseball on last week. That's really kind of upsetting to me. I mean, if you're going to expect people to know what they're talking about, where's that going to leave me?
You know what? He's a 14-year-old kid that knows
And
more
he-
than everybody in the room put together.
But he
And
didn't
he's
know what a
amazing. Yeah,
maven was.
He really did. He really did such a good job. Of course, I loved your stories about spring training, Paul.
Bill, it was fantastic. It was just great.
That was fantastic. But Bobby baseball did such a great job. I'm like, how am I supposed to follow that? What am I supposed to do now?
The first time we ever had him on the show, I was talking about Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah.
And I pronounced it wrong, and he corrected me.
That's fantastic. That is
So
fantastic.
we're never having him on the show again.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. Now I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about? I mean, how am I supposed to follow him?
I always tell everybody, we try and tell the correspondents that, we want to know just a little bit about your team, and don't worry, you don't have to know a lot about that. And then he comes on,
Yeah.
and he kills it for everybody.
That's right.
We love Bobby baseball.
So let's talk about the Braves, though, for a minute. So 2014 wasn't a great year. They had the same record as the Mets, 79 and 83. They had a collapse down the stretch. And I guess everything I read in the preseason is that they're really gearing up for their move to this new stadium in 2017, which I guess is really kind of near downtown Atlanta, I-75 and I-285. There are 12 players from the 2014 team that are no longer with the team. It's almost half the team.
Wow.
So it's a whole new cast of characters here. So what's happening, Bill?
Yeah, that's honestly that's upsetting to me. It's that's one of the things I think. I think also you talked last week about how the baseball sales have been down, and you talked about ticket prices. But the other thing is in baseball, it's almost like you have to root for a completely different team. And there's no, I've been an Atlanta Braves fan my whole life. I grew up Phil Necro, Hank Aaron, Rico Carney. I mean, those guys I idolized when I was a kid. But now, every year you have to like get a spreadsheet out and say, okay, who's my team this year?
Yeah, that's true.
Completely different team every year, and it's really hard.
It's a revolving door. They lost Jason Hayward. He went to St. Louis. Justin Upton went to San Diego.
I heard that last week too. You heard you guys talking about that last week. Well, that still hurts. I cannot believe they let Hayward go. I just cannot believe that.
That guy, I saw him last year at Citi Field. I went to the Braves Mets game last year. And that guy, man, he was just so smooth in the outfield and the way he swings the bat. And I kept saying, why don't we have a guy like that? And then they traded him. I was like, wow, and I don't remember exactly what they got back for him, but man, that's a guy you don't trade.
Well, I think they're trying to stockpile their farm system, I think is what they're trying to do. And
But
gear up for 2017.
They got a number 4 pitcher, or number 3 pitcher.
Oh, I got a number, that's right.
Miller was 10-9 last year. They got a 10-9 pitcher for Hayward.
One of the things that you always thought that made the Braves the team that they were was they didn't have a lot of change.
Yeah, that's true.
Every year they keep throwing the same guys at you, the same pitching staff, and that consistency and stuff.
Well, it was kind of like the core 4 of the Yankees. I mean,
right.
They had that pitching staff that was unbelievable. I mean, they're all in the Hall of Fame now. I mean,
last year.
The Braves have had a strong farm system for years. I mean, I think that's one thing that Ted Turner, of course, he doesn't own them anymore, but Ted Turner had and the whole organization had a really strong farm system, and we just don't have that anymore. I'm very disappointed in the Braves ownership, and I'm hoping the Braves can turn it around. This year, I really think I don't think the Braves are going to do as good this year as they did last year, and that's sad to say because like you just mentioned, we didn't even make 500 last year.
Yeah.
Hey, you finished with the exact same record as the Mets.
Right.
79 and 83,
Yeah.
and we were 17 games behind the Nationals.
Washington, yeah.
That's a lot of games to make up.
It really
But they
is.
do have
It
Freddie
really is.
Freeman. He's going to have a good year, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, Freeman is our all-star. There's no doubt. He's the only one. But they got rid of Gaddis, the catcher, Justin Upton, the left fielder, Jason Hayward, the right fielder, and then we lost Santana, Hardway, Ricci to free agency. So
Right.
we've lost a lot. Like you mentioned, we're missing a heck of a lot of players this year.
Well, they paid $44 million for Nick Markakis, the guy from the Orioles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But he's just one guy. He can't replace the 2 outfielders you lost.
But here's the thing: he was a 276 hitter last year, a 290 lifetime average. I mean, why would you pay that much for him?
What'd you say?
In our outfield, whole outfield, and there's Marquez, like you said, Upton, Young, and they're all like lifetime 260 hitters.
Right.
And it's just, and we have we do have Johnson, Simmons, Freeman, like that. Those are guys coming back. That's the only core of the team coming back. For a second baseman, we have 3 guys vying for the position that are below the Mendoza line. Well, of course, two of them were rookies. They've had less than 50 games, but they still have. I think the one that they are saying will be our starter is Peterson, and he has a career 113 batting average.
Wow.
That's only at 27 games, but it's just I don't see. This is not going to be a great year.
Right. Last year, a year before, when they signed B.J. Upton, he signed a 5-year, $72 million contract.
Uh-huh.
And last year he hit 198, and he struck out 324 times.
300 times. Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
And but you know what he did this year? He changed his name.
To what?
And I'm not kidding.
Okay.
He changed his name to Melvin.
Melvin.
Yep.
Why not K?
I don't know. But he changed his name from BJ to Melvin.
So the Braves are not. I guess 500 would be a good year for you. Is that right?
Oh, it would be. It would be.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, that's one of the reasons I listen to you guys. I didn't know that. I had no idea you changed the name of Melvin.
I read that and I said, wow. I says, you would think, well, why Melvin? How many Melvins are there out there?
Yeah.
Melvin Mora,
You know,
right?
BJ
Melvin Mora, that's right. Melvin Mora used to play for the Mets. That's right.
But BJ or Melvin, he was a really good player and then just fell apart. I don't know what happened to him, but you're right. Last year was just a horrible year for him.
Now the Braves.
Pitcher Kimbrel is still going to be one of our highlights.
Right.
We have yeah.
Well, I think your pitching is still going to be okay.
We'll see. We'll see. We have Tehran and Wood. It's going to be our 1 and 2.
Right.
And they did not have a great record last year. They had both of them had decent ERAs, but they had no run support. And I think that's going to be our problem again. We have absolutely no offense.
Going off on another tangent here. How about Freddie Gonzalez? Is he? You think he's a good manager?
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think the problem I think we have is with ownership. We have Time Warner. I think that whole corporation owns us, and it's just they don't want to spend any money, and they won't. They just keep having fire sales. So instead of trying to sign Hayward to a long-term contract, you trade him because you don't fool with that.
Now they won 11 consecutive division titles up until 2005. And since 2005, so we're talking about what? About 9 years, 9 seasons since 2005. They've only won 2 playoff games since 2005. So you know what? We're going to see what happens. Let's ask. Shall we ask the Stone?
You're not going to ask them if they're going to make the playoffs. Ask them if they're going to be 500.
Okay, Sammy Stone.
I want my shades.
Sammy Stone.
Yo,
Tell me the future.
sure, ask away.
Will the Atlanta Braves finish at 500?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Whoa.
You go, Sammy.
Well, you know the
You heard me
Stone.
here first. Okay,
We also know how wrong Sammy Stone is most of the time.
That man is stoned. That's all I can say.
All righty, Bill. Enjoy your vacation, man.
Yeah, I hope you're packed up and things like that. Enjoy yourself.
I will, and you guys are fantastic. I always enjoy talking to you. Thank you
We
so
do
much.
too,
I hope
Bill.
to see you soon.
All right, Bill, have fun.
Great talking to you.
Take care.
All right,
right.
that's our good pal, Bill Chandler.
All right. Just getting started here in the Glory Days show. We've got more reports coming up on a 2015 Glory Days baseball extravaganza. Coming right after the break, we will talk to Trey Looney from Houston, and then we'll say hello to our old friend, Stu Schiffman. I wouldn't say old friend, okay? Even though
What
he
do
is
we
old
wanna
like
call
we're
him?
old. Long-time friend.
Long-time friend,
Who
okay.
now resides in South Florida. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the InRadio TV network. Coming right back.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Rick Willett. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from InRadio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. Our next correspondent was in a tough spot last year as his Houston Astros are coming off one of the worst seasons in franchise history, winning just 51 games. At the end of his report last year, he reported that there was nowhere to go but up.
Well, he was right.
Well, the Astros wound up making the biggest turnaround in baseball last year, improving by 19 games and injecting enthusiasm into a franchise that sorely needed it. They also moved to the AL West, right? He injects some
I think
enthusiasm.
last year was their first season in the
Okay.
American League, right? Or was it their second season? Maybe
Second,
we
I
have
think.
somebody look it up.
Here to inject some enthusiasm into this show is our good friend from Pecan Grove, Texas, Trey Looney.
Do we have Trey?
Trey, okay, we got the thumbs up there.
Hey, Trey, how are you?
I am doing great, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
All righty,
thanks.
welcome back to the show.
Yes, I'm honored to be on such a great show here. So.
You shouldn't be honored, but we appreciate the ass kissing.
And the enthusiasm.
How are you, my friend?
Oh, doing very well. Looking forward to a good baseball season, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You know, I remember last year. Last year was the first year that we got to actually talk to you about it. And, obviously they had only won, I think, 51 games.
The year before?
The year before. But, man, what a turnaround.
Yes, they kind of got a little bit of a pulse here this last year, and that's what's creating some optimism here in Houston for this season as well. Springer definitely came up, and although he struggled at first, he kind of came into his own. I was actually at one of the games where he hit a walk-off game winner, so lots of fun here. So,
Hey, what about, but why would they change the manager? That's what I didn't understand.
There's a lot of back and forth on that. I think that Looney wanted to bring in somebody that he kind of felt more reflected his thought process. I also think that there were some things going on in upper management, and there was some conflicts with what was going on management-wise. My father gets to play a lot of golf with Enos Cabell, and there just was some thought process with the management team that they wanted to do some changes.
Well, a new manager obviously brings in a new philosophy. But A.J. Hinch, did he come from the organization? Did he come from outside the organization? Do you know?
I believe he came outside the organization, but I think he has some ties to Looney.
All right, so let's talk about the good things that happened with the Astros last year. Their bullpen is an upgrade, obviously. They blew 74 saves in the previous 3 seasons.
Wow.
Okay, so the bullpen was an upgrade. You had the batting champion.
That's true.
Yeah.
Your second baseman, Altuve. Altuve, is that how you pronounce it? Altuve
Yes,
not only was he an all-star, but he won the freaking batting title. You know what I mean? Chris Carter hit 37 home runs.
They say he might be on the market. I was reading that the last couple of days. Is that what's any credence to that rumor?
I'm sorry, any credence to what?
That Chris Carter is maybe looking to be shopped.
Well, there's teams that are looking at him, and the concern is that this team is going to be have a lot of strikeouts and be strikeout heavy. And so if they do move Carter, it will probably be somebody that is more of a contact on base percentage hitter. But this team is built for crooked numbers. It's going to, they're averaging over 6 runs or close to 6 runs per game already this spring, and that's not even playing with the short porch in
Houston, yeah.
Well, he was Carter. He did hit 37 home runs, but he hit 23 of them in like the middle of the season.
Okay.
He was a little slow in the beginning of the season. He looks like he might have got tired at the end. But I think you guys are kind of excited out there, kind of like the Met excitement that we have this year. It's a young team. It's going to be. There's a little bit of a future for the first time.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of hope.
Trey, how do you like playing in the AL West? I mean, historically they were a National League team. So how is that playing out in Houston?
Well, we're still getting used to this concept of beer league softball.
Well, listen, you finished ahead of the Texas Rangers last year.
Well, yes, and that's kudos to the team, and I think that we're going to be competitive and not looking at last place in the division again this year. And it's a different brand of baseball. You don't see a lot of the National League, double switches or the pinch hitters.
Right.
That's taking something getting used to, at least from my perspective. But it's still baseball.
Hey, well, let me ask you though. The news out of the commissioner's office this week and at the baseball meetings was talk about possibly bringing the DH to the National League at some point to make both leagues do the exact same thing. But you've been a longtime National League fan. Now you've had 2 years in the American League. What do you think of the DH? Do you like it? Because most people, obviously, other than Astros fans, nobody has seen both sides of the fence. Mm-hmm. The Astros have, and the Astros fans have. What do you guys think?
Well, I come from the school of if you're going to pitch, you need to hit your butt in the batter's box.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
And so, I don't like the DH. I've never liked the DH. I think that it's essentially not pure baseball. It does take away a lot of the strategy, and I definitely prefer the situation where if a pitcher's going to buzz somebody, he's going to have to step up in that box and probably get buzzed himself. That being said, the excitement of being able to keep some players for a little bit longer in their career, being able to,
but do we want to create a position that prolongs somebody's career? Listen, a sport is a sport. Baseball is the designated hitter is the only position in any sport where there is just a specific thing you do, and you don't get to do both sides of the coin.
Yeah. I think Trey hit it right on the head, though. I mean, there's a lot more strategy involved in the National League when you got to figure about, you can do a double switch or things like that. You use the pitcher to bunt guys over and stuff like that. All that's gone in the American League. All the American League managers, and I shouldn't say all because, there's obviously a lot of strategy involved anyway. But, they're just filling out a lineup card at the beginning. They're not thinking about other things, It's a lot more moving parts in the National League, and I like that. I think that's pure baseball. I really do.
And baseball also always has a symmetry about it. Everything flows. There's 9 positions.
Yeah.
There's 9 batters. There's 9 innings. Everybody. Everybody's got to play. Everybody's got to be able to do everything. You have to bat. You have to
can't
throw.
hide.
You
In the
have to
National
field.
League, you can't hide. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. And I just and I know people sit there and say, oh, you got a pitcher, he hits 098, and look at Bartolo Colon.
That's part of the game, man.
What did Bartolo Colon have? 3 hits last year?
He had a nice double, I remember, against St. Louis.
But that's part of baseball, and I never liked the DH from the beginning.
So there was 7. They were, like as you said, Paul. They won 51 games in 2013. They went up to 70 wins last year, which is a 19-game improvement. Are we looking at 500 this year, Trey, or what?
Well, at least.
Really? At least?
I think so. As long, I know you said there's some bullpen improvements, but just kind of looking at the numbers, the bullpen was a full earned run higher on their ERA at 4.80 versus the starters at 3.80.
Right.
And so they blew a lot of leads.
Mm-hmm.
If we can shore that up, and we did have a lot of. I think we were. I think 14th in the league in quality starts. So it's not like the starting pitching was really losing the games for us. If the bullpen can nail down a few more wins and we can put up those crooked numbers, there's a really good possibility this team will get to close to 80 wins. So
they made a run at Miller. They made a run at the Yankees, David Robinson, but they weren't able to get those guys. But we'll see, right? Everybody starts at 0.
Why don't we ask the Stone Man?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, the Stone. Hold on. Let's see. What does Sammy Stone have to say? Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
Okay, ask me.
Do you think Houston's going to finish at 500 or better this year?
That ain't gonna happen.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Well,
Ouch.
the Stone
Has spoken.
Has spoken. Well, you know what? I'm hoping that they have a great year, just because it makes it more fun when we talk to you when we get to playoff baseball next year.
Yep. And we did get a couple of Houston people. I mean, switching gears to football. I mean, we
That's right.
got.
We have
the
your
GM?
quarterback. We have your GM.
So we're looking forward to having some more discussion with you over the course of the year, there, Trey.
Most definitely. Don't hesitate to contact me. I'd love to come on your show. I'll do a great job, and again, looking forward to the baseball season. Good luck to your Mets.
Hey, good luck to you guys, man. Thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
That's
All right.
Trey Looney from, where is he?
Pecan Grove.
Pecan Grove, Texas.
Yeah.
We're going to take another break here on the Glory Day Show, and when we get back, we'll have a reunion of sorts.
Yes, that'll be good.
Here on the program, as we talk to a close personal friend of ours from the real Glory Days, Stu Schiffman. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Enravio TV network. We're coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with InRavio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. On our phone is a first-time correspondent to the Glory Day Show, but a longtime friend of ours who now lives in South Florida. He's a transplanted New Yorker and a longtime suffering Mets and Jets fan. He was also an original owner in our longtime fantasy football league, Remful, and he has the dubious distinction of losing the Remful Cup Finals in 1993 to me.
Of course, of course.
We've laughed and cried together over the years, but every spring of our youth in the 80s was spent knocking each other over our favorite hockey teams, the Islanders and the Rangers. So please welcome to the program the lovely and talented Mr. Ranger himself, Stu Schiffman. Stewie, how are you?
I'm doing great, I'm sitting here on my terrace overlooking paradise.
Oh, rub it in there, Stu.
Well, happy spring to you. Happy spring to you guys with, 5-6 inches of snow?
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Bruce said he had
me.
7
Yep.
inches up there.
Yep.
Oh, my God. How are you?
Yeah.
How's life in South Florida?
Life in Florida is wonderful, and we missed each other. I was really disappointed I couldn't get to the game that you were at. I was there the following day.
And I was leaving. We were heading back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a chance to see Harvey and Syndergaard. I saw DeGrom, who looked great.
So we're and actually, Stu, I'm going to be doing that every year now. I'm doing that every year. That was such a tremendous experience. I said I'm going to go. I'm going to bring my boys with me, and it's going to be a yearly event now. It was just too great.
And actually, if you go a little south from there. In Jupiter, the Cardinals and the Marlins share a facility that sometimes I go there when the Mets are playing them there. So.
Oh, that's a good thing too.
Yeah, and they just approved in West Palm Beach for the Nats and the Astros.
Oh, wow!
They're going to build a new facility in West Palm. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So Stewie, you were always a Met fan and a Jet fan. Are you now that you live in Florida? Are you still a Met and a Jet fan?
Absolutely. I hate the Florida franchises almost as much as I hate the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Flyers.
You didn't mention the Islanders yet there, Stewie. I'm surprised.
No. I don't really have an immense hatred for the Islanders. I have an immense dislike, and since it's been 1984, which I think the last time they won, George Orwell wrote a book.
Still, we always got some good one-liners. I guess you saw the one I posted there on Facebook last night, right?
Yeah.
That was a great one.
And you know what? As much as people make fun of Facebook, as much as people make fun of Facebook, it's because of Facebook that we're doing this today.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
And I know that my kids make fun of Facebook now because all the old people, their parents have now taken up Facebook. But you know what? It's great being able to.
I'm not a Twitter guy.
No.
Well, I know, there was, and I'm not sure how I connected with you on Facebook there, but I know maybe it was a couple of years ago, my sister-in-law's neighbor, her son had just graduated from the police academy, and he posted something, and I see Stu Schiffman likes this. I said, what's going on here, man? And Stu, you knew Pamela, right?
That's right. Pamela and I grew up in Canarsie, Brooklyn together. She was on the 8th floor, and I was on the 5th floor in a housing project in Canarsie, Brooklyn. So, and Pamela had two sisters. One was my age, Karen, and an older sister, which was my sister's age. So, yeah, we know, our families knew each other, back in the 60s, so and we hadn't seen each other in years, years. I still haven't. I mean, just on Facebook we communicate.
Right.
So it is a small world, man. It is a small world.
And you're also a veteran of New York radio. You used to call radio shows, sports shows and stuff. And you had that great story
Let me just mention one name.
Go ahead.
Duffy Latone.
Love Duffy Latone.
Duffy Latone. You still remember that?
I do.
Absolutely. That was great.
Except my wife's birthday.
I still have that cassette tape that I saved all these years.
Yeah.
That I always contemplated sending it into Phil Mushnick or Bob Raceman.
Yeah.
But I never had the heart to do it.
And who was the radio host?
It was Art Russ Jr.
Art Russ Jr. That was it.
Well, you were pumping him up too, saying, I never saw a guy that knew so much about hockey. Oh, fine young goaltender, I think is what he said about Duffy Latone. Right?
Yeah, he claimed to be the only black guy at Madison Square Garden in the 40s and the 50s.
Right.
And he claimed to be an expert in all sports.
Right.
We knew he was wrong, which we knew he was. He was full of it. So my friend Sandy, you remember Sandy?
Sure.
An Island, former Island, still an Islander fan, and he and I devised a plan to call him up, each of us to call him up and build him up, saying, you're the most knowledgeable, articulate, opinionated sports talk show host in the country. We think you're the great, so we built them up, and then we said, well, let me ask you something. Who do you think's a better goaltender? And we threw out, I don't know, whoever the goalies were at the time, maybe Ron Hextall or something, or Duffy Latone. Now, Duffy Latone was a fictitious name, and I got him from my next-door neighbor's dog.
Duffy Latone was a dog.
The dog's name was Duffy, and their last name was Latone, and it sounded French to me, so it sounded very reasonable. And he said he was a fine young goaltender.
Yeah, that's right.
That was funny because I remember you played us the tape, and you were saying Duffy Latone, and there was just a slight pause, and you could see what in his eyes he must have been going, who the hell's Duffy Latone? And then he says, oh yeah, fine young goaltender.
Right. I think I remember you also saying that Keith Barr almost drove off, because he was listening to the show. I think he said live he almost drove off the Grand Central Parkway or something.
Yeah, well, do you remember Carrie? Do you remember Carrie Barr?
Yes, and she passed away last year.
Yes, I know. I'm good friends with her older brother, Keith.
Yeah.
Who's a huge Ranger fan. He lives down here too.
Right.
He was on his way to the Ranger game, on the LIE, and he himself almost drove off the side of the road when he heard.
Hey, still, we got a picture up right now of you, and what's that dog's name? That's not Duffy Latone II, is it?
No. If it's a poodle, it's Bailey, named after Josh Bailey. No, I'm just kidding you. Although the irony of that is that my stepson's name is Josh, so I have Josh Bailey in my household.
Oh boy!
and then if it's a Yorkie, it's Sheldon the Wonder Yorkie.
Yes, I think it's the Yorkie. Yeah. Oh, boy,
Yeah,
you look like
Sheldon
you're
the
having
Wonder
such a
Yorkie.
nice time down there. And I picked that picture because you were wearing your Ranger shirt.
Yeah. No. I try to get to Panther games. When they play the Rangers. Occasionally, I'll go to a Panther, Canadian game or something like that. But mostly if the Rangers are down here, and just to switch gears to the Marlins. I go to a few Marlins games a year. They built this beautiful. When I tell you beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, state-of-the-art stadium on the grounds of where the old Orange Bowl used to be.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The problem is nobody goes.
Well, you remember Roy Edelsack, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, Roy took a trip down there, went to the stadium. He says it is in the worst possible area.
It is. What they did was it was all politics. The owners who are clearly, if you think the Wilpons are disliked, the Wilpons are the most popular owners compared to this guy, and this guy basically ripped the area off in terms of he threatened to move him again. Everybody does that, and he got taxpayer money to build this stadium, and the politics of the situation was to put it in Little Havana.
Right.
And of course, the theory was that all the Latinos down here would support the team because they love baseball. And again, I hate to stereotype and generalize, but
Yep.
it is it's very popular in Cuba and very popular in Venezuela and Puerto
Right.
Rico. And down in South Florida, you do need a passport. You feel like you are in Cuba there. So it's incredible. So, but the reality is that they really don't support the team. And
Well, you know what? In Cuba and down there, they're not paying $45 a game.
That's true.
For a ticket.
Yeah, right. Well, last year, believe it or not, I mean, it was stunning. You can actually pick up opening day Marlin tickets via Groupon.
Really? With a Groupon?
Wow.
With a Groupon.
Oh my goodness.
For opening day, which is the most. Listen, that's the most. Listen, even the Pittsburgh Pirates, when they were a horrible team and hardly drawing, would sell out on an opening day. Everybody sells out.
Oh, look at how many bad years the Mets have had. We always sold out. It was the
Yeah.
only game we would sell out.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the Marlins, so the ballpark itself is a beautiful park. It's state of the art. There's not a bad seat in the house, no matter where you are. It's very fan friendly. Food's good. They deliberately did not put enough garage parking in the area so that they could let the neighbors sell their driveways for $20 a ticket, which was notorious of what they did when the Orange Bowl was there years back. So they purposely did that. But the reality is nobody needs that excess parking because there's really not a lot of fans there. But I like what they're doing with the team finally, and I think they finally are going in the right direction. I remind everybody that they have won 2 world championships over the last 15 years.
Right.
So or let's see, 18 years. So I think in '97 and '03. But the problem with that is each time they won, they broke down the team.
They got the team right away. That's right.
Well, look at what they did just, what was it, 3 years ago with the, they signed Reyes, they signed all these things, and they didn't even give them a year. And boom, they tore the whole team apart.
They tore the whole team apart. But, the reality is that they seem to have gone, what they're doing right now is they're building the team around 2 marquee guys, young marquee guys. One, of course, is Giancarlo Stanton.
Right.
Who I still don't understand how he went from Mike Stanton to Giancarlo, but that's a whole other story. Okay.
Well, B.J. Upton changed his name to Melvin.
When he went to Giancarlo, he got $300 extra million out of the team.
Yeah. 13 years, $325 million.
Unbelievable.
It's an unbelievable contract, and here's a guy that got hit in the face with a baseball last year.
That's right.
But he's the real deal. There's no question about it. This guy's the real deal, and I think he has a no trade clause, if I'm not mistaken. So I do think that they're doing the right thing there. And the other guy that they have is their version of Matt Harvey, which is Jose Fernandez.
Right.
Yeah, and he's coming off of TJ surgery.
Right.
and he's supposed to be back in June, maybe July. So, I mean, they're building around those guys. They filled in with some nice pickups this year. You know, they picked up Michael Morse from San Francisco. You know, D. Gordon, who's sort of you don't know what you're going to get out of him, but he's got speed. His hitting, you got to really question his consistency. I've always been a big Martin Prado guy. Now, listen, he's not going to be a franchise player, but he's a good guy solid guy to have on your team. Some veteran leadership there.
And you know what? You got a strong guy in the bullpen. That guy Cishek.
Oh yes, Cishek and Mike Dunn. Don't forget Mike Dunn is a lefty. He's a tough. He's very tough on lefties. Dunn. They brought in Matt Latos from Cincinnati as another starter. This guy Henderson Alvarez as the number 2 starter is a very reputable number 2 starter. He's going to start the season as their number 1.
Right.
But I like what they're doing. They're in their outfield. They got 2 young guys.
They got a fantastic outfield. They got one of the best outfields in baseball.
Their outfield is really, and they brought in a nice guy off the bench in Ichiro. The guy, the guy's not listening. His days are over as being a steady 300 hitter, but to come in off the bench as either a pinch hitter or a fourth outfielder to fill in, that's a nice pickup. I mean So listen. Do I think they're going to beat the Nats out? No, I don't. But I think they're going to give the Mets and the Braves a run for their money. And the Mets notoriously have a hard time with this team, no matter how bad they are.
All right, let's see what Sammy Stone thinks.
All right.
Sammy Stone.
Wise guy.
Sammy Stone.
Yo.
Tell me the future.
Sure. Ask away.
Will the Rangers win the Stanley Cup this year?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Whoa!
Okay, Stewie.
Whoa! Now we're talking.
Stewie, man, I hate to tell you, but we're running out of time here. I wish we have to do this again. This is just ridiculous that we haven't done this before now.
We could have a Stu Schiffman hour.
I'll certainly make myself available. And listen, we have great memories going back to the '80s. I mean, listen, the original rental, rental. So.
And how great would it be if the Islanders?
And you guys all made fun of me when I drafted Richard Todd and Leslie Walker. Just remember that.
Who? Grossman?
Grossman, Randy Grossman.
Randy Grossman. All right, it's a little too inside for us, but hey, Stewie, man, good luck. I hope that we'll bring you back on during the hockey season during
playoff time.
Playoff time. And hopefully we get an Islander Ranger. Series.
That would be great. I'd love to come back and talk hockey with you. And we could either talk before or after the Islanders get eliminated. Whichever one.
Let's do it before.
Hey, listen, there's still 10 games left. Now I'm hoping that they make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I think they'll be there. Don't worry about it.
All righty, Stewie. Thanks.
All right, Stu.
All righty. Thanks, Stewie. That's a good friend, Stu Schiffman.
I tell you,
that's great
stuff. I was smiling all week thinking about that we're going to talk to him.
And you know what? We know this is a show for you guys, but this is really for us. All right, you made it this far. Hang out. One more break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. Watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco only on the Radio TV Network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Less Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. So, what did we learn today?
We learned he's still a character, man, for sure.
We learned that Duffy Latone is not a goaltender in the Rangers farm system. But we learned a little bit about the Atlanta Braves today.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not going to be as good as everybody thinks they're, or I wouldn't say as good as everybody thinks, as good as they've usually been. So it looks like the path to the playoffs this year is going to go through Washington in the National League East.
Well, I think we knew that before the season started, to tell you the truth.
So now, do the Mets have the mental ability to beat Washington? What did they lose, 13 out of 16, I think, last year?
It was bad. It was bad. And that's really probably stopped them from being a 500 team. You know?
I know that Washington has that incredible, and I think next week we'll hear from Bill Sohan about Washington.
Okay.
Next week's show. But they've got that great top 5 rotation.
They do.
You know,
they're the team to beat for sure.
They've got a tremendous top 5 rotation, but they don't have any depth in their starting pitching. So hopefully 2 or 3 of their guys will need Tommy John surgery.
And we also learned that the Stone Man predicts that the Rangers are going to win the Cup.
The Rangers are going to win the Cup.
So we're going to have to take him out to the woodshed, I think, you know.
All righty. Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all the hard work they do in making us look so good out here.
That's right.
And thanks to today's baseball correspondents, Bill Chandler from Tennessee, who is on his way to Hawaii.
He's already there.
He's already there. He was talking about the Braves. And Trey Looney from Houston, and Stu Schiffman all the way from South Florida.
Yeah.
And thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week. And, of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget to check out the Glory Days On Demand page at www.inravio.com. You can watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the inravio.com TV network. We have the new show starting this week. The DJ Chef, does it start this week? When does it start? 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Next week, we'll have correspondent reports from our good friend Jerry Schwarzman in Chicago. He'll be doing both the White Sox and the Cubbies. And Bill Sohan from Maryland with an Orioles and Nationals update. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. Don't shovel. It's going to melt in a day or two. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care.
InRavio.com.